What do you have to say about the comments from President Pro Tem Kim Ward and a number of other Republican women senators who have questioned why your former legislative secretary stayed on as long as she did?
Yeah, look, first off, I'd just say consider the source when it comes to the President Pro Tem.
I can't imagine that people are willing to support the idea that kids will be sent to a failing school. So we'll pay for a free ride on a bus to get them to a failing school. That's where some of the reforms need to take place, along with, as I spoke earlier, about unleashing Pennsylvania's energy. We need to help everyday taxpayers, but we also need to help the people who are hurting back home. They can't afford their energy bills. 20% increase in June on their energy bills. There's things that this legislature can do in a bipartisan way to help fix these issues. And that's the kind of conversations that are happening when it comes to this budget. And I think that every day we are inching closer, and I'm glad to be here today with my colleagues.
And hold on, guys, and I have one more for you.
I'm Pennsylvania State Treasurer Stacey Garrity. When I enlisted to serve in the military, I took a solemn oath to defend our country and to honor her principles. And I worked very hard to live up to that commitment.
Stacey Garrity not only served 3 deployments in Iraq, including Operation Desert Storm, but Stacey also reached the rank of colonel and earned the Legion of Merit and the Bronze Star twice.
Today, I'm announcing that I'm running to become Pennsylvania's next governor, and I'm giving you and your family my solemn oath that I will work hard every day to fix the problems Josh Shapiro has created.
While Josh Shapiro has been spending his time running for president and fundraising in California and other liberal states, raising money from far-left mega donors like Bloomberg and Soros, critical problems in Pennsylvania have been ignored. Shapiro has even failed to get the state budget done on time, which may lead to our schools not receiving the funding they need. That's unconscionable.
To know just how much of a failure Josh Shapiro has been, all you need to do is look at the facts. U.S. News and World Report now ranks Pennsylvania near the very bottom on our economy, education in our classrooms, and our state's infrastructure.
But it gets worse. Shapiro's also given PA families the 5th highest tax burden in the country, skyrocketing utility prices, and the highest rising food prices in all of America. You can thank Shapiro and his allies the next time you go grocery shopping.
I'm going to make your family one more promise. I will never embarrass Pennsylvania with scandals, unconscionable behavior, deleted emails and cover-ups, and a total lack of transparency like Shapiro has.
As Pennsylvania's state treasurer, Stacey Garrity has made ethics in her office and full transparency a top priority. And Stacey has exposed millions of dollars in fraud and inefficiency and returned over $1 billion directly to taxpayers. Stacey Garrity is also a strong ally of President Trump, and like the president, supports protecting health care and welfare benefits for vulnerable Americans, while requiring able-bodied recipients to work for their benefits and ending benefits for those here illegally.
Over the coming months, I hope to get to know you and your family better and share all my ideas of how we can make Pennsylvania more affordable, bring more jobs here so our young adults have more opportunities to stay here, and how we can bring integrity and honesty back to the governor's office. You see, I'm not just going to ask for your support. I'm going to work hard every day to earn it.
Stacey Garrity for governor. Finally, a governor more interested in raising hope than raising our taxes. Visit GarrityForPA.com to join Stacey's team.
Oh, there you have it, guys. All right, back to the show. That I just showed you. The first clip I showed you was Josh Shapiro responding. Josh Shapiro responding in a press conference to his former advisor who left because of sexual harassment charges. And the two people you saw were his high-powered lawyer and one other guy. I forget who he was, but what he was saying was, by considering the source, he was downplaying the sexual harassment case by saying consider the source the Senate pro tempore Kim Ward, downplaying it, saying consider the source, she's a woman, and so forth. So he has a woman problem. He's going to have a bigger woman problem coming up in 2026 when Stacey Garrity beats him for governor election because of her base. She's got recognition now. She's got recognition with the House and Senate GOP now. She's got recognition with grassroots now as well. She's got the 3.9 million votes and bit more votes than Josh Shapiro did for a statewide row office in 2024. She's also also going to be able to bring the woman vote as well, and the GOP vote as well. And if she chooses a lieutenant governor out of the four that's a woman that I have mentioned before, like State Senate Kristen Phillips Hill, Natalie Milak, and Martina White, and Representative Martina White, and Charity Graham Krupa, and there was another one, I forgot what their names were. But there's four of them that she could choose from at the time, and that would be a double threat, double trouble for Josh Shapiro, because Josh Shapiro, frankly, has got a woman problem. Starting with, he had to put hush money for $292 just to settle a sexual harassment suit for the woman to be quiet about it and not lose his job. And he just has a problem with strong women to begin with. And so we can also go there. Recently in the news, though, and then the second clip I showed you was Martina White. She's a representative on Somerset County in Philadelphia, a very strong conservative Republican in Philadelphia, and one of the only women in Philadelphia, Somerset County. I met her once, and she's also called out Democrats. She's also called out DA Larry Krasner for his nonsense and crime on the streets. Now she's fighting for the schools and hospitals and institutions for the federal funding of the state budget. and that was another one. Martina White would be another good one for her, for Stacey Garrity. And so then the second one was I'm trying to think what that one was. Oh, Stacey Garrity's ad campaign, and these were all cold opens, and I do that to capture you guys' attention. If you hear it dinging in the background, it's my Telegram going off constantly, and so we need to continue to fight and go for it. But recently in the news, we have this. Huge news for Garrity for PA tonight. She wins the PA GOP Southwest Caucus straw poll, 57-2. She is on her way to statewide endorsement vote. Stacey Garrity will be outstanding governor of Pennsylvania. So she's won the PA GOP Southwest Caucus vote, straw poll vote, 57-2. We need to get behind Stacey Garrity. We can't allow Doug Mastriano to win for so many reasons. And I mean, that's also Rick Saccone. I sent out a Substack earlier today on my thoughts on Stacey Garrity with Saccone, the GOP, and Doug Mastriano. We need to get behind Stacey Garrity 110%, 100% here. But most importantly, we got a huge upcoming election in November 4th. And I'm going to tell you why. We got corrupt judges that are ruling from the bench. We have criminal corrupt judges. These people have turned down or have overturned convictions of sexual predators in Commonwealth court cases. They shredded your election integrity. They denied election integrity fraud in 2020. They made you shut down your schools, your businesses, your churches. Made you wear a mask. They kicked the Green Party off the ballot in 2020. Said goodbye democracy, goodbye choice. They extended mail-in ballots 3 days past elections in 2020 and voted for that. And they enjoy catalytic pensions. The longer they stay in office for 10 years or more, the larger their pension grows, and so forth. These are the judges that you have to vote no on. Bingo. Christine Donahue, David Wetch, Kevin Dougherty, Alice Beck-Dubrow, Michael Wojcik, and so many more. But we need at least a 40 to 50% voter turnout in Pennsylvania. Here is some of the stuff they did. Oh, that's not the one. Here's some of the stuff they did. Vote no on judicial retention. It says they violated your constitutional freedoms, locked down schools, churches, and businesses during COVID, picked winners and losers for central PA businesses, forced unconstitutional orders without due process, shredded our election integrity, twisted laws to enable unfair redistricting, allowed mail-in ballot returns 3 days late in 2020, removed the Green Party from the ballot in 2020, overturned convictions of sexual predators as you can see. And again, the longer in office, the larger their pension grows. We need to vote no 5 times on these judges. 5 times. I repeat, 5 times on these Supreme Court judges. What else? But since this is about the populist movement in PA, we need to have a populist movement in Pennsylvania to continue the fight. We need to continue to keep growing the GOP, keep growing the Republican Party and Republican voters, keep the pressure on the Democrats, and keep going. become a precinct committeeman in your local respective GOP. Why do I say that? Because precinct committeeman is the most powerful office in the country. Not this, because the precinct committeemen are the Republican Party. The precinct committeemen, the Republican Party. And then I'll show you why. Bingo. Registered voters, that's you. Registered Republican voters. You vote on precinct committeemen like us. Legislative district committee, and then we vote on legislative district committee officers, county committee officers, state committeemen, and then state committeemen vote on state chair, and then state committeemen also vote on, and then precinct committeemen also vote on state convention delegates, national convention and national committee men and women, and national convention delegates. That is the process. Who do we fill these seats within the Republican Party? Why do we have such a weak Republican Party? First of all, because in 2008, well over half of the Republican Party's local committee volunteer voting member slots were vacant. From 2010 all the way down to 2020, whose fault is it? It's people online complaining about the governor election, complaining about what's going on in elections and so forth. Need to get involved. Action, action, action. This is what we look like now. Has strength, ideologically split, no message, no ground game GOTV capability, 200,000 precinct committeeman seats. We need to outnumber the moderates with conservatives. I'm going to show you what that looks like here in a minute. Bingo. Current party strength. Has strength, ideologically split. That's what I showed you. This is what we could look like. 100% strength, 75% conservative, 400,000 precinct committeeman seats. Conservatives outnumbering the moderates. As you can see right there, get involved in your local committee, in your local state committee, and your state committee, and your county committees. Then you have this one. Bingo. A Republican, this is what we look like now. A Republican Party at war with itself that has strength. As you can see, 200,000 vacant seats, 100,000 Trump PCs, 100,000 others. This is what we could look like. A unified Republican Party with a 75% Trump majority at full strength. National committees, state committees, county committees, local committees, 100,000 Trump PCs, 100,000 Trump PCs, 100,000 others. Get in the game. This is the power that we all have, that voters versus precinct committeemen have. Precinct committeemen elect all party chairs directly or electors of. Elect electors of state convention delegates. Elect electors of state party 3 RNC members. Get access to party get out the vote software. Elect those who write party platform. Voters none. Who do we fill these? Then you have this one. It says conservatives could be politically powerful if they united and organized inside the Republican Party committee seats where they live to fill the 200,000 vacant Republican Party precinct committeeman slots in their own voting precincts. That's half of the whole number of 400,000 slots to take over the control of the party from the establishment. Fake Republican do nothing imposters where you step up. Let's get stepped up, guys. Let's get moving. Who do we fill these slots with then? We may ask. We fill them with America First National Defense, Second Amendment supporters, anti-mandatory vaccinations, build the wall, anti-mask, America First audits, hand counting paper ballots, elect better school boards, America First foreign policy, right to life, tax enough already, unite in local Republican Party precincts, party committees to get out the vote for the best conservative primary election candidates so they win. What else? Then we also have this on the 2026 general election. Pennsylvania, Greg Rothman, State Chairman, Andy Riley, National Committee man, Christine Toretti, National Committee person. Let me tell you, these two, they all voted for Ronna McDaniel in the RNC election instead of Harmeet Dillon or Mike Lindell. This guy's new, but this is your chance to decide whether they stay or they go. What else? Hold on. Then, if you're ready and you really want to go and you really want to find out more information, go to my friend's precinctstrategy.com site. Click on the home button. Click on the links, helpful links about Dan and his videos, Dan's book, and his book I'm going to show you here in a minute. You go up here, you can go to connect with other conservatives to the Pill platform site. Get the election integrity app for the Find Now, or watch Dan's daily podcast. Go precinctstrategy.com. It's the name of his site. I'm going to show you the videos for this as well. So here's Dan's book, How to Get Into the Real Ball Game of Politics, where you live to help President Donald Trump make America great again. Again, so get his book. So, while I'm on this thing, I was going to do something real quick. Let's see. Look up something for you on Copilot AI to see some stats for you. Hold on, guys. This is good. So while it's loading, what I was going to look up was some stats for Stacey Garrity versus Doug Mastriano for you, so you can see what it says. It's up now. Says, Republican momentum. Garrity has secured endorsements from the GOP leaders, including Senate President Pro Tempore Kim Ward and House Republican leader Jesse Topper. She's widely seen as the establishment favorite, especially among Republicans who want to avoid a repeat of Doug Mastriano's 2022 loss. Like the bill, Garrity set a record for most votes ever received by a statewide candidate in Pennsylvania during her 2024 re-election treasurer. Her military background and outsider status, not a career politician, resonate with rural and working class voters. Since fundraising and infrastructure, she's raised $3.7 million across her treasurer campaigns, but experts say she'll need a $25 to $30 million to be competitive against Shapiro. She's backed by traditional GOP donors, but may struggle to attract crossover support from unions and moderate Democrats this time. Challenges ahead. Shapiro is popular incumbent with strong fundraising and national attention, possibly eyeing a 2028 presidential run. Garrity's alignment with Trump and her past comments, e.g. questioning election integrity, may be weaponized by Democrats. Bottom line, if Garrity consolidates GOP support and avoids a bruising primary, she could pose a serious challenge, but unless she dramatically scales up fundraising and expands her appeal beyond the base, Shapiro remains the frontrunner. So there you have it. There's that for you guys. I don't know why this is still up. for you guys. And but we need to continue the movement, and this is how we do it. Become a precinct committeeman. Get involved in your local Republican committee. Get involved in your election. Stay vigilant. Stay ready. Stay focused, laser focused on the mission at hand, and that is winning bigly. We need to continue the fight and so forth, and we need to continue the thing. Now, the big thing I want you to talk about is this right here. America, every Republican Party precinct committeeman slot filled by a volunteer America Firster. Much greater turnouts of America Firsters. Primary general election America First winners, America First state legislators and governors equals hand-counted paper ballots, no machines, mailed ballots only for military invalids and small precincts, one-day election. This is how we get to the goal of this, by filling the GOP seats with America Firsters to get out the vote for much greater turnouts for America First state legislators and governors to get to the ballots. This is a working working class blue collar state. People know better. The people, I've seen you guys in action in 2024, in 2020, and in 2022. You guys are a populist movement. This is a populist movement in Pennsylvania, and we need to continue the populist movement in Pennsylvania by putting pressure on the Democrats on every single election, voting in every single election, staying connected, staying up to date, and so forth. We need to continue the election, continue to run, and continue the fight in every single election. We need to have at least 40 to 50% voter turnout for statewide elections, and to vacate these corrupt criminal judges, as I have mentioned in the beginning. They need to continue to do that, and we need to continue to rally behind our candidates, even though you don't like them, even though you might not like them. But we need to continue the fight and continue to do so. Now I'm going to show you, pop up this video for you. Hold on. While it's loading. That's not it. Oops.
Marxism is everywhere. It is all around us. You can see it when you look out your window, or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when others are too afraid to speak their mind. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. I offer you a choice between two worlds. Take the blue pill and continue living in the world of complacency and indifference. Or take the red pill. Join us in a world where patriots come together to fight for freedom. What the elites don't want you to know is that there are 200,000 open committeeman seats of the Republican Party. These party members are the ones who determine the future of the GOP. The precinct strategy will teach you what it takes to help elect America First candidates who share your love of country and a vision for a better America. Will you take the blue pill and continue living in a world where a corrupt few control everything? Or will you take the red pill and join us? Let's take our country back, one precinct at a time. Choose wisely. Your future depends on it.
So that was one of the things, like I said, join join the movement, take the red pill, as he says, and to get involved. Stay involved, because every single day is going to be a fight to save America, to save this country, to save our Commonwealth, to save our republic, to save our state here in Pennsylvania. These guys, the corrupt judges that I mentioned, like I said, shut down your schools, shut down your churches, shut down your livelihood, shut down your businesses, and make you stop going to church and your religious freedom, which is one of the First Amendment rights, is freedom to worship whoever you want or whatever you want and wherever you want. This was a constitutional freedom taken away from you, and this is where you need to get mad, angry, and frustrated, and take it out by going to the polls on November 4th, election day, and vacating these corrupt, criminal, unconstitutional judges on November 4th. The polls are open 7 to 8 p.m. We need to continue to flood the polls every time and every location, and get involved. This is where it's at, guys. This is where it's at. So we need to continue to fight, get involved, local action affects national action, and we need to continue to move in action, and deconstruct the administrative state, take out the deep state, deconstruct the courts in Pennsylvania, and get rid of these guys. Because in 2027, if we vacate these guys, in 2027, we're going to have a special election where we can vote in a majority of Republican justices in 2027, right before the 2028 presidential election. And it'll be a 5-2 majority and no gerrymandering in Pennsylvania. And it will help us go forward in 2026 gubernatorial election. We need to continue to fight. We need to continue to win and continue to stay involved in every single election. Well, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the show today. Sorry I didn't have much information. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon.